Hello, guys. Hope you guys having a good day today. Today we have a guest from Siberia, Russia.
Yes, Siberia. Hello.
Um, Tell us what's your name, where you're from, and what do you do?
I am, my name is Alex, and I am from far, far away from where most of you guys live. Siberia, maybe some of you know where it is. It's the middle, literally the heart of Russia, the geographical center. What else should I tell about myself? I love traveling, and I love teaching, and I love cultures. That's my basic introduction. Very short, isn't it?
So tell us, if you see her photos, you'll see that she's been around the world and she has some amazing photos. So if you want to check her out, her content, I will leave her link below. If you want to check her Instagram and her other social media. Tell us, how did your adventure begin regarding traveling?
Oh, actually, it all began when I was really small, about 7 years old. My dad, he was running a business related to, which required travels to such countries as Arab Emirates and Oman, these really hot countries. So that was my first experience of being abroad. And then my family, thanks to my family, they took me to Spain, Bulgaria, some popular tourist destinations. And this is how it all started. But then it was a long period of break during my school time, because I devoted myself to studying and learning and entering high school. By the way, yes, thanks to English, it all really tailored my future, because my all education was always devoted to English. And then when I finally graduated, started making my own money, I threw myself to traveling, and this is when it all started like it is now. So I try to go somewhere a few times a year, which is not that easy because any destination from my place is pretty far. So it's never fewer than 5 hours. So like 5 hours any destination, wherever you go. But I love it. And I love that I'm in the middle, so I can go any direction, because it does not matter, as you see. Oh yeah, so this is a short story.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So of all places you've been around the world, which one has been your favorite?
This is the question everyone asks. Come on, do you have a favorite place in the world? Do you have it? I mean, I don't know. I just love every place I go to.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's equally similar. It is all every time different, but difference is what is so alluring, is what we all crave for, is something we want to see, some different, new place, which is unique in some way. I do have the places I love returning to. In this case, I do, but none of them is my favorite.
So it's like every place is home.
Yes, and yes, to every place I go, I have some special connection in some way, and it is always different. And it is always something, like I leave a part myself, and I love certain places just because of the way they make me feel. But it's hard to say which my favorite is. It's really hard.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a perspective, but I love it how you put it, that every place is unique in itself, and it's not that you can pick a favorite, because every place has its own special.
Yes, it's all whole soul, its own atmosphere and the people, and maybe it all depends who you travel with too. Whether you're alone, if you're a sole traveler, it's one feeling. If you go with your friends, it's absolutely different. If you go to some really well developed place with a lot of infrastructure and nice service and everything around you is so clean and you love it, or if you go by a motorbike, like 3 days with no shower, but you have fun, it's another feeling, and it is all the time different. And I do have this feeling of homesickness, but to the places I have visited, and I really dream of coming back, maybe with another myself, with another feeling, with another vibes, but I want to return just to feel it, like I'm back. And I really noticed this difference. When you come back to the places you've been, you have a different perspective, you have a different feeling being there.
That's interesting. Going from there, which one would you say that has been your biggest cultural challenge?
I really do think a lot about cultural shocks and cultural challenges due to the fact that this is my specialty. I have an education in cultural awareness and cross-cultural communication and intercultural relationships, and basically this is what I do. I try to help people that travel or that want to relocate or that want to just go on a business trip and have a serious meeting with people from another culture. My job is to help them avoid these problems. And this is what I have been learning through all my life. Well, not all my life, but since I actually entered university for 5 years. Yes, every day, different cases, like what can go wrong? Why can't two cultures misunderstand each other? And I have been into that for so long that when I travel, I really do have an open mind. And I really do appreciate the local traditions. And, for example, when I was in the Maldives, many were like, because I was living in an indigenous island with no resorts, like with the local people. And of course, it is required to cover your shoulders, your knees, your elbows, but it's really hot and you want to wear your bikini on and go sunbathing, but you cannot, right? But I wasn't complaining because I like it, because I like that I can just devote a part of my little part of my life to live in differently, to live in not as I normally live. There is a kitty. Hello, kitty.
Is a traveler kitty too?
I know, he's so small. He's only 7 months and he hasn't been anywhere yet. But I am working on his passport and vaccines and everything. So I really hope that he will get somewhere one day. So the point I was making is that I guess I am always ready for everything and I'm never disappointed. Even if I can be disappointed for a real short period, like maybe it can even end up in, tears, or I can freak out because when nothing goes right, when everything gets out of hand. Yes, it happened to me during my last travel to Cuba, and all these things can freak you out, but I wouldn't call them the cultural shock because I had known where I'm going and I had already prepared myself for this situation. So this is just experience, and we should be thankful to getting it, to knowing it, so that you start knowing something new, how things are done in another place, different from yours. And Russian isn't the best example of the country where things are done well. So you're ready for everything. For the last 5 days, there was no hot water. Then they turned on the hot water and they turned off electricity for the whole day. So you live in such thing every day. So you're ready for everything here. It's like a normal thing to accept some things like that. That's a joke, of course. Okay, but this is true. 5 days no hot water last week, and then no electricity the whole Monday. Yeah, that's just how
it's like
life
the first
is
time
here.
It's like the first time I went to the jungle or something like that.
Jungle. I never been to real jungle. I have been just to some places that are surrounded by crocodiles and jungles, but I never ventured out. I mean, I am too scared of all these things.
Yeah.
Not so intrepid as you are.
I wish I was intrepid. I was freaking out too because there was huge spiders too. They were like the size of my whole hand. Like.
Oh crap. Okay, once a monkey bit me in my shoulder here in Beijing in a safari park. I was posing for a photograph, and the huge monkey, like that size, I don't know, it's just a big one, it's big species, jumped on me and really beat me here or there. I don't remember which shoulder it was. Yes. Okay, we have a nice background.
Yeah, he's for the bombing. He wants attention.
Oh, he wants attention. This is true. He's craving for some attention. Okay, so I do always get this itchy feet to travel somewhere, and the most interesting thing these days is that I started looking at the world through my son's eyes, because I always tell him he has been to 13 countries. And maybe he does experience this cultural shock because he's not ready and for some things. And it's just amazing to see how this world is, it's opening for him, and how excited he is. And well, I can see that it really does extend his philosophy of thinking, and the way he perceives this world is, it's different every time we go somewhere. So I really do think we should invest in our kids to show them this world, to prepare them for bigger, advanced breakthroughs in their life. Because when your world is like that and you haven't seen other things that can be shocking, can be different, but different does not mean it's bad, right? Just being ready to experience something different, extending your comfort zone, realizing that what you once perceived was normal is not normal. There can be other normal somewhere else. This is the best thing about leaving your home and going somewhere you haven't been before.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Very, very, very well worded. My question is, so you touch in a very important subject, which is different kind of normals and different kind of cultures that you have to be ready to navigate. And I bet there is always things that we'll learn from them. What are some positive things that you have learned in another cultures that you have adopted in your own daily life?
Oh yeah, that's a really, really good question. Well, I would say I'm not very patriotic. I consider myself to be worldwide citizen. But I'm not saying that here it is worse than somewhere else, because people here are very different, and it all depends on, we don't have some common traits that can be assigned to everyone. I'm not saying that, just as a kind of an introduction to what I'm gonna say, but some countries that inspired me to elaborate on some points. Well, I guess these were two major countries I fell in love with. These are Switzerland and Japan. But not the countries as the countries, but the people that live there. And their level of consideration towards others around them. This is what I carry through all my life. This is what I teach my son. that being aware that you are surrounded by others that are worth respect, and all your actions, everything you do, you wake up, you have breakfast, you do something through the day, you go to bed, everything should be aligned with this awareness. Because sometimes people, here it's a frequent case when you really feel like the people around you don't give a damn. Like, you live here and you may want to sleep and it may be late, stuff like that. And on the road too, I'm speaking about road rage, which is also a commonplace in Russia, crazy drivers, notorious for the whole world. In a subway, on the street, wherever you are, in a queue, in a line somewhere, yes, just knowing that there's people are around you and you should respect them. So this is, I guess these two countries, they champion this, and even Swiss people, I talked to them, they said we are not as, I would say, as conscientious of this as Japanese people are. I was really amazed by the way people treat one another in Japan. Like this underground, the subway with an enormous amount of people, like 40 million people a day, and you have never been pushed. I have never been even pushed by anyone, because people respect one another, like, and everything is so like organized. And by the way, organization is another thing I learned in China, in Hong Kong, about like 50 people in a line and you wait for like less than 3 minutes, because how everything is organized is another thing. Well, everywhere I go, I try to kind of soak up some good traits and bring them, maybe not here, but I try to adapt them into myself. And well, many say I'm not a typical Siberian girl, because I always smile, and this is what people adore, when you kind of beam this positive energy and you exchange it with someone and this someone gives it back. So I guess consideration, like the respect, organization, and positiveness in general, these are three main traits I have underlined for myself, and I try to, well, I don't try, I have become such a person. I wouldn't say I do my best to be this person. No, I am just, I realize that it's way easier to live like that. And also during my pre-last travel with the band, I'm not gonna say which band, but they were touring in my country, and I just was at the sound check with them, and things in Russia always go it's never good to do anything here, but they are ready for this. It's not their first time here. And of course, things went wrong. It's an evident thing that nothing goes smoothly here. And if you're a big musician having a big show, nothing will go right. This is something you should be ready for. And I just saw how these guys were solving these problems, how respectful they were to one another. Nobody was freaking out. Nobody was shouting. Here it's a normal thing to find someone in a charge, trying to, bring shame on them, shout, yell, prove you're right, and, being so overwhelmed. No, I was like sitting and I was in a maze. I was just, oh my God, these guys are great. They respect each other. They don't blame one another. They don't, go emotional. And this is what, again, I emphasized. And I really want people around me to be like that. It's really amazing to live in such a respectful society.
That's awesome. So speaking on that, on society, a big part of society is like, culture is eating. So one of the ways to know a culture is while eating, while trying the food, while eating with locals. What has been your experience regarding that?
I love food. I mean, I do.
Me too.
It's really hard.
High five.
And I have a sweet tooth. I give high five. You know, again, I have some favorite countries that are in my top, say, 5 where I want to return. One of them is Greece.
Ooh.
I love Greek food, and Georgia, of course, is just amazing. And it's like you always gain a few kilos, you know, coming back, even if you go for a week or 2. But that's just amazing. Montenegro, I love Mediterranean cuisine a lot. All this connected with seafood and fresh fish. It's just nothing could be better. Octopus is the best. It's just the best in Greece. How they do it, it's amazing. But the process of preparing takes a few days. They do it. I don't remember how exactly it is done, but this is not a very easy thing. It's not a cakewalk to prepare an octopus. But well, again, it's just so fresh in my mind at this last trip to Cuba. You know, Cuban food is not very prominent, which is weird to me because their neighbors, like Mexicans, they do have an amazing cuisine and lots of spices, lots of different amazing dishes. And I haven't been to Mexico, but I've been to Mexican Street in LA a few times. Like every time I go there, I really indulge myself with all kinds of Mexican dishes there. But I guess it's different from Mexico. I don't know. It's hard. I don't know really. The thing is that the food there was stale. Like it's everywhere similar, just a piece of bread and well, no spices, like a piece of, I don't know, kind of, you know, this cheapest cheese, and it's like you gobble it up because you want to get full, but it's not tasty. No fruit, very watery, watermelon, like no sugar, you know, no dulces, no sweets, no candies, nothing. And it's a big point, right? Because you really want to enjoy something, but you just cannot enjoy because there is nothing. And even if you go to a 5-star hotel on an island, they don't have these options because maybe this is the country's like major economy, which is not based on some fresh products for delicious dishes. And for some people, it spoiled their impression of the country and in some way affected their overall mood. But not for me. I was happy with what I have. I thought, oh my God, there are hummingbirds, there are iguanas, a beautiful, I don't know, amazing water, great weather, so things that can make up for that food. So I say that food is amazing as a supplement. I am happy to really, it's like it enhances your stay. But in case it's not, I wouldn't say I get too disappointed by not getting some regular coffee, you know, go cup coffee, which, you know, in my culture, it like fixes to kickstart my day every day. I cannot start it with a coffee. But if I'm in the middle of the mountains in Mongolia with no opportunity to drink coffee, I'm not going to freak out. I hope I'm not. But I had a few cases and I was trying to find the nearest place to drink coffee there, but yeah, but I try to not pay too much attention to it.
I love my coffee too.
Oh yes, coffee
it's
is
like
the best.
2 things that I must have in my morning: my Bible and my coffee. They always
the first one is what?
My Bible and my coffee.
Oh, your Bible, yes. For me, coffee is my Bible. I meditate.
And how many languages do you speak?
Well, currently English, and I also teach Russian. Japanese, as it appeared, I can get by in Tokyo. A little Spanish, so again, I can get by in a Spanish-speaking country. Italian and German went completely rusty. I haven't been speaking them for, I guess, more than 10 years. So
awesome.
Any language requires constant practice. I guess you know this, right? If you don't, and of course you need to spend every day some like hours to practice it, to watch TV shows, to speak with the locals, maybe by messaging. If you don't do it, it just, you know, you may have it somewhere, but I wouldn't say I speak these languages. I devoted myself too much to English, though. made my choice.
That is awesome. That's awesome. So what are you looking forward when all this pandemic situation ends?
Burning question. These days everything is put on hold, right? Unfortunately, I had big plans, major plans. My major plan was to go to Burning Man festival. I had bought the ticket, you know. I was really looking forward to it. I had postponed my trip to Cambodia and Asia, because I was supposed to be there, yes, this spring. These days, it's hard to make any plans, right? It's hard to really see what this all will lead to. I guess in short term, the outcome is evident. It's clear that we'll probably have to wait for a while, right? As for the long term, so what do you think? I am positive. I guess I just really hope they will develop a vaccine. And this will probably sort out this problem in the future. But what I started thinking a lot, I do hear different opinions, and what I thought is that really we are humanity takes this responsibility, major responsibility for that, and we are the culprit for this happening these days, because the way we really, how much else do we need to grow, do we need to expand? What I teach in my students, I have many students from China and from these students that are taking tests, and we study all these biological questions in English and about ecological capacity. It's like equilibrium that should exist in the nature, balance, right? So the foundation is the balance in any ecosystem, and we are at the top of it. I wouldn't call us apex predators. We are just on the top. There are no natural enemies for us in this world, and the way we are expanding and the way we are developing our world, our society, technologies, factories, how woods are cut in Siberia every day, and no one really realized that, but it's terrible, it's devastating. And what I am saying is that I guess there is no one to blame for that. We are to blame for that. The way we live, the way we treat our planet, the amount of waste, the amount of garbage we produce every day, each of us, the amount of products we consume, the lifestyle we led to. And maybe in case, even if this issue is solved in the nearest future, let's hope, I am sure that something else will be there to reduce our really endlessly devastating impact on our planet. So if we talk globally, not egotistically, like we travelers, we want to travel, we want to go. I do. Yeah, I do. I have an endless amount of points in my bucket list. And I really hope my lifetime will be just enough to see at least half of what I want to see. I just realized our time is limited, and of course we are all egotistical in that we all want to get the most of this life, to have no regrets, to have lots of memories, but we also need to think globally, realizing that we are a part of a bigger system which suffers a lot from us and our wishes, our desires to do and to achieve something. So this is my point, and I am not, I'm not building any plans currently. I got no plans, only wishes that hopefully it's all gonna be over soon.
That's awesome. Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you too. Okay. Thank you too.
And thank you for the joy that you express, your experience in traveling. It's really encouraging, and I bet many of the people who are listening to us will be able to see more of your experiences through your Instagram and through your social media.
Thank you.
Well, guys, this was Alexandra, and have a great day.
Yeah, have a great day. Hi, guys. This world is beautiful. It's worth experiencing every moment. Let's turn it into something good. Let's turn it into something positive. Yes, thank you so much, Adder. It was a big pleasure for me. Thank you so much for inviting me in, for having me here, having me speaking. It's really very pleasurable experience. Thank you.
Thanks. It's my joy.